Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you guys today?
Cold.
Yeah. These guys are wearing matching pajamas from their sleepover last night. So bunk bed sleepover for the morning show, Coach. How much FOMO do you have over missing that?
Yeah, I'd like a little more detail. That's interesting.
Choppy lives so close to the firehouse, and so I wanted to ensure I was here on time, and so we just turned it into a little sleepover with matching robes and pajamas.
Oh, is that what you're going with there, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Coach,
We are dressed under the robes, though. We do have clothes on under the robes.
That's very, very smart. Very smart move on your guys' part. What kind of pajamas do you have on?
They're like these blue plaid, very soft robes, but they're nice. For $18, they're not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's impressive. Very impressive. I'm sure the firemen appreciate it.
yeah, it's a very manly outfit for today. Now, Coach, you always talk about entertaining and having family over. Do you have what's your pet peeve for companies staying over? Are you monitoring everyone and making sure everyone's using a coaster? Do you have a chair no one can sit in? Like, what's the Mike McCarthy house rule for anyone coming over and hanging out or sleeping over?
Well, I'm definitely I'm a little past doing sleepovers at my age, so I apologize for. I think I've graduated from that. But yes, we definitely enjoy having family over, and my wife does an incredible job of being the social coordinator. So I'm just kind of the I'm labor. I like to look at myself as I do what needs to be done.
Mike McCarthy joins here, 105 through the Fan. All right, this past week, Cooper. This was not like the best game he's had. We've seen him play tremendous in the past. Do you think his neck was the main reason for his performance on Sunday?
I mean, it definitely didn't help him. He took a good shot there, so he's feeling better. But hey, it's another week. We just there's always plays early in the game, especially anytime you're having your first start or when you come in as a backup. You're just trying to get some credibility into the game. Where I'm talking about just getting completions and getting on a roll and getting that momentum going in the huddle. And we just really could never establish that.
Coach, we know you want to go downfield more. We saw him make a couple nice throws the previous week. Was the lack of downfield passing attack more of what they were doing defensively, Cooper neck, a combination of things? What led to kind of the lack of downfield attempts in the passing game?
Oh, I think, just like anything, you're going through a game plan, you're usually setting up those type of throws, those type of plays. And, I was, I felt like we were in good shape at halftime as far as, how we were playing the game. You take away the 2 turnovers here. I mean, those were huge plays in the first half. I mean, it's a different ball game for us. We would have definitely been in the lead, but the ability to run it and set some of those throws up was the plan. The thing that really got us was, the three and out in the second half, and then the three giveaways. It's just, you're not gonna get behind people too much in that situation.
Coach, we've heard you speak really highly before of your quarterback's coach and a former player of yours, Scott Tolzien. When you're trying to get a backup quarterback ready to play like Cooper Rush, how helpful is it to have somebody there coaching the position who you've had direct experience with preparing them to do this very thing and play in place of your starter?
I think it's very important. I think the opportunity to have former quarterbacks in the room is important. Scott has been in Cooper's chair. And they have a different relationship than anybody on that team. So yeah, I think it's very important to have former quarterbacks in your room. And I know just from a design perspective, as a head coach, always being in the quarterback room for 30 plus years, but I did not play the position. So I think it's important to have, if you can, one of your former quarterbacks, but definitely have that quarterback experience in the room. I think it's a relationship, it's a connection that Scott has with the other quarterbacks. That's very important.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on 105.3 The Fan. Rico Dowdle seems to be kind of finding his rhythm a little bit recently, and he's one of the guys who got to Dallas the same year that you did and has stayed with you for the entire time to this point. Can you talk about how satisfying it's been for you to just see his growth and some of the perseverance that he's shown through the injuries and over the years?
Definitely. I'm really proud of Rico. I think his first 2 years, just some guy, and it kind of goes this way sometimes for players is, you get all your injuries in bunches, and, if you remember, first time Rico was given a chance in 2020, he returned a kickoff for a touchdown. So, he's always has done a really good job of taking advantage of his opportunities, and I think you're seeing that now. And I just got to continue to get him opportunities.
Coach, how many carries do you think he can handle in a game?
How he can handle? He's got a violent run style, but I think he can handle north of 25. 22, 25 would be perfect for him.
Mike McCarthy.
But he's also good out of the backfield too.
Right.
If you can give him three to five touches out of the backfield too, I think that'd be a perfect day for him.
Mike McCarthy here, join us on 105.3 The Fan. All right, CJ Stroud. Most quarterbacks don't come into the league and look as poised as he has, early in his career. What have you seen that's just different about him?
Well, I think they did a really good job, systematically with him, but he can make all the throws, and I think the one thing that's always stood out to me about CJ, I think he has excellent arm talent, but his ability to throw in pressure situations, particularly when it's a tight pocket, so he not only has the torque, to really drive the football, but he also has the ability to get the football out quickly, under pressure too, and that's something that you always look for when you're evaluating these college quarterbacks. You're always looking for tape of them playing under pressure and how they handle the throw with a defender right in their face. And I think for a young quarterback, I think he's exceptional at that.
What has been their issue in the second half of games offensively? It seems like they haven't scored a touchdown in the second half of game almost since September. What have they done differently?
I can't tell you that specifically, but I do know that they've had some ups and downs. They got good numbers overall, so let's just hope we keep them on that path.
Coach, you talked on Wednesday about the fact that you guys have started the window for Chume Doga. You're getting him back, and how Austin Richards played well at left tackle last week. And you referred to it as healthy competition. So when you say that, do you mean that just in the iron sharpens iron sense, or do you have it as an active competition at that spot now?
Oh, I think it's a 360. I think anytime you have everybody available, it's a healthy situation to be in because everybody's getting reps. Particularly when you have a veteran guard like Zach. So there's going to be opportunities on Wednesday and Thursday for reps at right guard. Tyler Smith was limited. Didn't practice Wednesday, so there's more reps there. So I just think anytime you get reps as a young player or returning, from an injury, it's a great situation to be in. And when you practice and it's on video, it's you're always competing. So we always know that we're always lining up to the battle and keep our jobs.
What have been some of your early impressions of Jonathan Mingo since the trade, and how he's coming along in his preparation?
Hard worker. He's doing a really good job picking things up. So I think he's getting more and more comfortable. But really like what he brings to the table. I think he's a good fit for us.
Can we expect to see him Monday night?
I hope so. That'd be great.
That'd be great. Mike McCarthy here on 105.3 The Fan every single week at this time on DFW Sports Station. Coach, when Lamb and Jalen Tolbert talk about this son issue being a problem, do you take that to Jerry and do you feel like if the players wanted something to change with that curtains or whatever that could happen? Do you take that to Jerry?
Well, I think like anything that goes on with your facilities or stadiums. I mean, this is not a conversation that just started, today. But both teams have to play with it. We have a process that we go through, every home game in our game management meeting, based on when we, feel the sun's going to come into the stadium. So we're well aware of that. There's a process with, pictures and from previous days, and so you do the best you can, planning for it. But I mean, there's weather, there's weather criteria at a lot of stadiums. The last place I worked at, it's you always had to be aware, which way the wind was coming in, and then when they had the north end zone expansion, that changed it, and then they had the south end zone expansion that changed it. Frankly, I go to the stadium very, very early, home games and away games, but every away game, Bucky, our equipment guy, him and I go out onto the field, and we put our compass out and we look at north, south, east, and west, and then we always check the elements. So to me, it's just part of a home field or an opposing stadium, the climate that you're playing in that day.
Do y'all get a chance to like, and maybe logistically it's not feasible because you got to move so much stuff, but during the week to, have a practice out there, you're going to play a game at a certain time, and you just, in the same element conditions with the sun, and do you ever get a chance to do that?
That's a good idea. No, I have not done that, but I think it's just like anything. You just, the situation. When your schedule comes out, and the challenge is going to be the afternoon games, and you look at how many you have, the time of year you have, whether it's daylight savings time or not. You just take all those things into play, and then you chart a course the best you can.
Have you noticed it's worse if the windows are open versus they're closed?
Choppy's really interested in the campus.
Oh, man, that's good.
I love the sun.
This is probably your best follow-up segment ever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the PJs.
Yeah, you can't get that visual out of my head, but I'm really filibustering here, too.
I have a final one. Coach, who do you got in the fight tonight, Tyson or Paul?
I'm going with Tyson. I think you have to stick to your generation. I think it's going to be a great event. I think it's awesome that these guys are doing this. I think it's going to be a great night at AT&T Stadium.
Coach, thank you so much for putting up with us yet again. Enjoy the weekend, and best of luck Monday night. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you.